Streetlight reflections stretching across wet asphalt. A lighter clicking repeatedly in the dark before the drums crash into motion. We met outside a closed diner near the highway. You wearing a velvet jacket with burn holes in the sleeve. The jukebox inside looping old soul records like the building forgot what decade it belonged to. Your laugh sounded dangerous immediately. Not loud, not forced, just honest enough to ruin people slowly. Disappear behind us, mile by mile. Warm bass vibrating through cracked speakers. Your boots resting on the dashboard, smoke drifting out the half-open window. You told stories in fragments. A rooftop fight in Marseille, a flooded motel room in winter, a lover disappearing inside an airport crowd. Maybe half of it was fiction. That's why I believed every word. Stations glowing alone beside empty highways. Coffee tasting burnt and beautiful at 5 a.m. The groove stretching endlessly beneath the tires, as if the road itself generated rhythm. Asphalt dreams and cigarettes, hands hanging outside moving cars. Tiny moments surviving longer than entire relationships. The first sunlight cuts across the windshield. Suddenly dust floating gold through the cabin air. You fall asleep against the passenger window while another city appears slowly ahead of us. And somewhere behind the engine noise, the bass line keeps rolling endlessly west. Outside yet. The night is still breathing. The city hasn't admitted morning exists. Chrome reflections sliding across wet avenues. Taxi lights melting into silver rain inside the club. The air tastes like burnt espresso and exhaustion. The DJ plays rhythms so minimal, they feel unfinished. A kick drum, a drifting bass line, a lonely jazz guitar repeating 3 unresolved notes. You lean against the steel staircase, smoking silently. Black eyeliner blurred beneath tired eyes, like someone beautiful surviving the end of something without making a scene about it. The window slowly turned pale blue morning, trying to force its way inside. But nobody here is ready to return to reality yet. Bodies still moving carefully through the smoke, as if dancing might delay sunrise itself. A woman in white boots laughs briefly near the bar, then disappears before the echo finishes. Somewhere beneath the groove, a muted trumpet enters softly, warm, cracked, like old cinema dialogue. Finally speak around 5:12 a.m. Voice low enough to disappear into the sub-bass, saying, Berlin always looks most honest before sunrise. And suddenly the room feels emotionally dangerous. The bartender stacks empty glasses slowly. Street sweepers pass outside the entrance while inside the rhythm continues with mechanical patience. Nobody kisses dramatically. Nobody begs anyone to stay. The city leaves heartbreak unspoken, hidden beneath fashion and sound systems. Sunlight reaches the dance floor in thin silver lines. The music becomes quieter. People collect their coats without urgency. Outside, trains begin moving again. Inside, the last bass line still hangs in the air, like smoke, refusing to disappear. Orange cigarette light in a black room, sub-bass shaking the ash from crystal trays. A woman exhales smoke beneath red neon, and the groove begins. Cigarette glow frequencies drifting through the underground. Tiny embers floating like signals in the dark. Every inhale synchronized with the kick drum. Every exhale dissolving into blue atmospheric haze. The rhythm stays stripped and hypnotic. Muted jazz guitar, dry percussion clicks. bleeds through tape, echo slowly. Warm notes circling endlessly around concrete walls. Meanwhile, rainwater slides down the club windows outside, turning neon advertisements into liquid abstraction. You light another cigarette without breaking eye contact, the flame briefly illuminating your tired expression. Like a photograph developed too slowly. The city survives on unfinished conversations, half-empty glasses, and rhythms deep enough to make loneliness feel luxurious. Near 5 a.m., the room becomes quieter without losing volume. Bodies moving slower now, sweat and smoke merging beneath violet ceiling lights. A woman in silver heels laughs softly near the bar, then immediately looks heartbroken afterward. Berlin emotional mathematics, beauty always carrying hidden exhaustion underneath. The DJ strips the track down to bass and brush percussion, leaving huge spaces between sounds where memories start becoming louder than music itself. The final cigarette burns alone in the ashtray. Outside, morning rain covers the streets in pale silver. Inside the club, the frequencies still linger long after everyone disappears. No destination tonight, just wet highways, dashboard lights, and enough fuel to disappear for a few more hours. Engine humming beneath midnight rain, streetlights stretching endlessly across the windshield. The city fades behind me in fragments, concrete towers swallowed by fog. A deep bass pulse rolls through the car speakers, soft but heavy, like someone breathing beside me without saying a word. Traffic lights blink pointlessly at empty intersections. Everything feels suspended, as if the entire world paused to listen to this groove alone. Minimal piano chords drift through static, tiny jazz harmonies dissolving into reverb. The road curves beside abandoned factories, windows blacked out like blind eyes. I keep driving because stopping feels dangerous. Silence grows louder whenever the music fades. So I raise the volume slightly and let the sub-frequencies press against my chest. You used to sit in the passenger seat, feet on the dashboard, drawing shapes in condensation. Now only cigarette smoke occupies that space. Blue highway signs, tunnel echoes, distant trains moving beside a deserted gas station, neon flickering against puddles of rainwater. The cashier barely looks up from his radio. Somewhere inside the speakers, a saxophone enters softly, warm and lonely, like the final thought before sleep. I realize I've been driving in circles for hours, not trying to arrive anywhere, only trying to outrun certain memories. Morning begins quietly at the edge of the highway. Gray lights spilling across empty roads. The baseline fades into the distance, while the city slowly wakes without me. No signal after 4 a.m. The phone screen glowing weakly in darkness, searching endlessly for something invisible. Outside the motel window, truck headlights drift across frozen pavement. The heater keeps clicking every 30 seconds, like an exhausted metronome. Room 208 smells like bleach and old cigarettes. Half the neon sign outside already burned out. You stopped replying 3 nights ago for shorter messages than empty voice notes, than nothing at all. I'll leave the television running without sound, just to avoid hearing my own thoughts clearly. Snow gathers slowly around abandoned gas pumps. A stray dog crosses the parking lot alone. The bassline loops through cheap headphones, warm enough to feel human for a second. I almost believe you're still awake somewhere. No signal after 4 a.m. No taxis, no conversations, no certainty. Only sodium orange light reflecting through ice and static crawling across the radio stations. Loneliness eventually stops feeling emotional. It becomes architectural. Around sunrise, delivery trucks begin filling the highway again. The motel ice machine finally falls silent, clouds turning pale behind electrical wires. I don't try charging it.